presence is felt with us here in our Beit Midrash. We're going to get started this evening as we welcome in the Shabbat with Yedid Nefesh, page 10. Yedid Nefesh, Avarachaman, Mishovach, Eretzonach, Yarut Avdach, Kemo Ayav, Ishtachaveh, Muhadarach, Kirablo, Yedidutach, Minofetzuf, Vechol Ta'am, Adonai, Ziv Haolam, Nashicholah, Avatach, Anahavelna, Refonala, Beharachna, no one zivach, as titchazek, v'titrapeh, v'haitalach, shivchat olam, v'tikyemu, rachamecha, v'chusna, al beino havach, ki zekama, nichsof, lirot b'tiferet, uzach, ano eli, b'chma libi, chushana, ve'yatitalam, ki golena, ufros chaviv alai, et sukat shelomach, ta'yeretz mikevodach, nagila v'nismechabach, maher ehuf kiva moed v'choneini kimei olam. We turn now to page 11, Lechuner Anana. Lechuner Anana, L'Adonai, Nariya letzur yisheinu, Nekama fanav v'todah, Bizmirot Nariya lo, Ki el gadol Adonai, Umelech gadol, Al kol Elohim asher beyado, Mechkerei haaretz, V'tawafot harim lo. 40 שנה כות בדור אמרם דויל בפם והם בלו דרכי אשר נשבעתי אפי אם יבואו נמדוכתי. Page 13. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני מאוד, ונורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלים, ואדוני שמיים עשה. Baoz, Avon Adonai Kavod Shemo, Seu Mincha Uvo Lechatzrot Avishtachavu, Ladonai Maharat Kodesh, Chilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz, Imru Vagoyim Adonai Malach, Avtikon Devel Baltimot, Yadin Amim B'Mewe Sharim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'Tagel Haaretz, Yiram Hayam Umbelo, Yalo Sadai V'Chol Asher Bo, Az Yiranenu Kol Tzeyawar, Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Kiva Lishbot Haaretz, Yishbot Evel B'Tzedek, Ve'yamim Be'emunato, Elai la 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 la, Elai la 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 la, page 15. Adonai Malach Dagel, Aretz Yisnecho, Yim Ravim, Anan Varafel, Sevivav, Tzedek Mishpat, Nechon Kisah. Four lines from the top on page 16. Shama Batismach Tzion, Vataglena B'not Yehuda, Man Mishpatecha Adonai, Ki Ata Adonai Elyon Al Kol Haaretz, Me'ona Leisa Al Kol Elohim, Oavei Adonai Sinura, Shomer Nafshot Chasidav, Miyad Reshaim Yatzilem, Or Zaru Latzadik, Ol Yishrei Lev Simcha, Simchot Tzadikim B'Adonai, Ve'hodu Lezecher Kodsho. Page 17. More. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflaot Asa, Hoshia Lo Yemino Uzero HaKodesho, Hodiyahu Adonai Yeshuato L'Yidei HaGoyim, Gila Tzidkato Zachar Chasto Ve'emunato Levet Yisrael, Ra'u Cholav Se'aretz Et Yeshuat Eloheinu, Hariyu Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Pitzchu V'Ranenu V'Zameru, Zameru Ladonai Bechinor, Bechinor V'Kol Zimera, V'Chatzot Zerot, V'Kol Shofar, Hariyu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai, Yiram Hayam U'Melo'o, Tevel Ve'Yoshveva, Neharot Im Chauchav, Yachar Harim Yeranenu, Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Lishbot Haaretz, Yishbot Evel B'Tzedek, Ve'yamim B'Mesharim. Adonai Malach Hazu, Amim Yoshev Ruvim, Tanut Haaretz, Adonai Tzion Gadol, V'Rahu Al Kol Ha'amim. Page 20. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. We rise, page 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai B'nei Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Va'os, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Hishtachavu Adonai B'Har HaKodesh, Kol Adonai Hamayim, El HaKavod Hirim, Adonai Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai B'Hakoach, Kol Adonai B'Hadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, V'Yishaver Adonai et Arzei Halvanon, V'Yargidem Kemo Egel Levanon V'Sirion Kemo V'Reimim. Kol Adonai Chotzev Havotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midabar, Yachil Adonai Midabar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yachol El Ayalot, Vayechasov Yeharot, Uvehechalot Kula Omer Kavod, Kula Omer Kavod. Adonai Lamabul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Mos Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. We are seated, page 22. Ana v'kovach gedulat yemincha tatir tzerura, kaber minat amcha sagavenu tahareinu dobra, nakibor dorshei v'yechulcha kavavat shamrim, barchem tarem rachamem tikachatam min gamlem, Chasin kadosh berov tuvcha nahela datecha, Yachid ge'elei amcha b'nei zochrei kedushatecha, Shabbatenu kabel u'shemat tzahakatenu, Yodei ata alumot, Baruch Shem kevod malchuto le'olam va'ed. Page 23. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'divorecha hishmiyanu, El hameyuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem v'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor haberacha lerosh migeder, nesucha sof maaseh b'machashavat achila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Migdash melech, Ir melucha kumitzei, Mitorav v'charav l'chshevet, Be'emek b'achar hu yachamo, Alaychem la'lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Page 24. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hinari me'afar kumi, Livshi bigdei tifartech ani. Al yad ben Yishai beit halachni, korban el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitovri, Kiva orech kumi ori. Uri, shir daveri, Kevod Adonai, Alayich nigla. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshim v'lo tikami, Ma tishtochachi u'ma tehmi. Bach yechasu ani ami, V'nivneta ir al dila. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Page 25. V'hayulim shisa shoch sarich, V'rachaku kol mevalayich, Yasis alayich Elohayich, Kimsos chatan al kala. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu small tifrotzi, Ve'et Adonai taritzi. Al yad ish ben parzi, Ve'nismecha ve'nagila. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and we take a moment of peace and fulfillment of the promise of Shabbat, Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret ba, toch emunei am segula, Barat kala, Pnei Shabbat, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We are seated as we turn to page 27. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat. Shetulim bevet Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu on yenuvon b'sevad shenim berananim yu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avalatapo. Page 29. Mikolot ma'im ramim adirim nishberam adir v'amarom Adonai elotach alemnu levachal kodesh Adonai leyorech yamim. Mourners and those observing a yurtzeit, rise and body your spirit at this time and join with me in the words of the Mourner's Cottage on page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalama tivara kerutei v'yamalich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei decho beit Yisrael ba'agalah u'vizaman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach v'yalam lomei omaya yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipoar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei nekutsha b'richu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran ve'alma v'yimeru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshavei tevel v'yimeru amen. Shabbat shalom, friends. Wonderful to be with all of you. I was thinking about, actually, Charlie and Kim, it's appropriate that you're on with us because right near where we stayed in Israel now over a year ago, right just around the block from the Inbal Hotel, for those of you that know Jerusalem well, there's this garden that's right between where the museum in memory of Prime Minister Menachem Begin, where the Begin Center is, and on the other side is where the upgraded, the old train station is in Jerusalem. If you've been to Jerusalem in the last decade or so, it's now kind of a happening place. Before that, it was not. And right there is where in 1979, archaeologists found these small, like smaller than the thumbnail on my thumb, tiny silver scrolls that with microscopic magnification they were able to read engraved in them Hebrew words from this week's Torah portion. And this is actually radiocarbon dated, the oldest find in what is now Israel, connecting us to that land and that place. And that is in Jerusalem in the 7th century before the Common Era, when this first temple still stood, when some of the narrative of the Bible had not yet happened. This is in the late 600s BCE, is when these dates, and what they have written on them are the words of the priestly blessing that come from our Torah portion. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's face be lifted towards you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God turn towards you and put on you peace. And these are the words that are described in our Torah portion as the means by which, through the priests, God blessed the people. I've shared with some of you before how the priests are supposed to hold their hands like this, but it's not the priests that are actually doing the blessing. The priests are making a space for God to do the blessing. And the imagination that we have of God's hand looks a lot like a hamsa, right? If you've ever seen one of those Jewish hand amulets that kind of looks like the back of a hand, you'll notice that the bottom of it fits pretty perfectly in the gaps when you hold your hands just like this. And so what the priests are doing when they hold their hand in this way to offer that blessing is they're creating a space for God to bless. And that it's kind of peculiar, to be honest, that it finds its way in this week's Torah portion because it's pretty much out of nowhere. This is the longest Torah portion in the entire Torah. It's long at the beginning with the census of the Levites. It's long at the end with each of the different tribal leaders coming and offering something at the inauguration of the tabernacle. In the middle, there are some laws about what to do if you realize you've made a mistake and done wrong by somebody, and also some laws that generate very large sections of the Talmud, first concerning the case of the sota, which is a suspected adulteress, and there's no ordeal with a potion of water that is dissolved with God's name is written on a scroll and dissolved into this water, and this potion she's supposed to drink, and either she's guilty and will, after drinking the potion, be poisoned and suffer a terrible outcome, obvious to everybody, or she will be blessed and fertile, and her suspicious spouse can be less suspicious, perhaps. So that's an awkward ritual. And then the second one that also relates to this is the ritual of the Nazarite, which regards a person that takes on a very particular kind of vow, where they don't cut their hair, and where they don't drink or consume any grape product, wine or grape juice or even raisins. That's the main things of a Nazarite. Also that they're not intimate with others. But it's this special vow that a person made in the ancient world. Probably the most famous Nazarite is Samson, who didn't cut his hair and had super strength. There's no guarantee that if you don't cut your hair, you will be blessed with said super strength. But then, within all of these different things that seem to be totally disparate, there are just these three lines within introductory line that says, and this is how the priest would bless the people. And it has these words. And these are the words that connect us more than anything to one another. These are the words that were taken from our Torah to be the blessing that parents offer their children on Friday evening. These are the words that were taken to bring us close to God and to be reminded that for thousands of years uninterrupted, God has blessed us and our ancestors in this way. And that the thing that we continuously dream towards, the last word of that blessing, is a blessing of peace. And you'll notice that in the structure of our prayers, we always conclude with prayers of peace. The Amidah always ends with a prayer for shalom, whether it's shalom rav, a great peace, or sim shalom, put on us peace. With oseh shalom, God make peace for us at the end of a Kaddish, at the end of an Amidah as well. And it's because this is one of our highest values. And so why is it that it finds its way? What is it that connects it with all these other things? All the elements of this week's portion are about people recognizing in some way that they are included, right? The priests who were not included in the census for land are shared that they count. The leaders of the tribes each give an equal offering as a way of demonstrating that they each matter and contribute something to the whole of the Jewish population. The idea that we have an obligation to someone that we've wronged when we realize that is about mending relationships and building peace within community. The idea of mending peace also when there's tension in a relationship, or being able to do something extra, which is what the Nazarite vow was, when we feel that we are distant from the divine. Each of these things are to bring us a greater sense of wholeness, of connection, and ultimately peace. And that one of the reasons that we offer this blessing again and again and again, if it's different iterations, a blessing for the next generation, and a blessing for all of us, is not only that we should be blessed to know God in our lives, that we should know safety and security, and that we should know ultimately peace, but it's also to remind us that we are in relationship with God, and that we are in relationship with generations who have come before us, who have passed down this blessing, which is a blessing to our ancestors back in the 7th century before the Common Era, and continues to be a blessing for us. Can you hear that sound? So may it be God's will. We turn now to the Ma'arif prayer, the Baruch Hu, page 39. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. And we are seated. Ma'avir yom me'vilayla Yom yom me'layla Adonai Tzavot Shemot El Chai v'chayam Tamid mo'aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamaharim v'haravim. Page 40 on this one. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'hem negei yomam v'layla v'vadachadis imenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol levalcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meotecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzarecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'yibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha v'lechtecha b'derech v'shochbecha uvkumecha Ukshartam leot decha v'hayu ledot avot bein enecha uchdamtam amzot beitecha uvisharecha v'hayim shemot. Adonai Elohim, Adonai. Malchuto beraton kiblu alehem Moshe Miriam Nes l'chashura v'simcha rabba ve'amaru chulam mi chamocha po'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norah tehilot osefel malchutecha ruvanecha v'kam b'nei Moshe ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kifadar ma'et Yaakov v'galo mi'achazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael. Page 45 Akiveinu. U'shamor tzeiteinu v'necham shalom et Avraham Ufros salim sukat shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai Habores sukat shalom alinu v'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise, page 46. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam beritola v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam beritola Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam beritolam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim. Did I do ki sheshet yamim?
I did.
did that already.
Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Yitkada ve'yitkada shemei rabah ve'almani v'rakadei v'mlich malchutei v'chayechon u'veyom echon u'chayeh echol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'mizman mikariv ve'imeru amen yehei shemei rabah mevarach le'olam u'lamei olmaya Yitvarach v'yishabach v'yibar b'shman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei l'kudasha b'richu le'la mikor chadav v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'imeru amen. We'll continue now with the Friday night Amidah, recite in silent standing devotion. When you continue, complete your private prayer. Feel free to be seated, page 47. I said silent. They tried. We're going to offer a prayer of healing for all those who are ill. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who brought healing to Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those for whom we now pray, including David ben Elisha, Scott Tucker, Marlene Tucker, Yisrael Naftali ben Sarah, Chaim Melech ben Ephraim, Avraham ben Meir, Moshe ben Ra'el, Judy Zola, Zalman Tzvi ben Ava Herschel, Yodit ben Yocheved, Yitzchak Halevi ben Miriam, Vicky Bird, Mordechai ben Rachel, Chesa bat Brina, Annette Ruto, Malka Dvora bat Chana Shifra, Yehuda Braun, Tovagela Bachaya, Karen Gaynor, Neil Rosenblum, Harav Masha Rachel bat Golda Leah, Issa ben Miral, Daniel Ivory, Peniel ben Sarah, Shana bat Nisan, Eileen Martin, Yankel Hirsch ben Malka, Tova Tikva bat Ruth Sil, Rashka bat Pearl, Aaron ben Lisa, Yael bat Sarah, Eliezer Leib ben Sarah Elka, Jeannie Eisenberg, Philip Eisenberg, Nissan ben Fredel, Reuven ben Riva, Esther Batia bat Biba, Michael Donahue, Leon Levine, Shoshana Sharon bat Chana Shmuel, Elba ben Devorah, Chaya bat Devorah, John Granick, Meir David ben Brindle, Rav Geshendo ben Chana Shalom ben Pesel, Chaim Michel ben Yocheved, Eliyahu David ben Yodi Chama, Barak Brennan Bracha, and all the others who we hold in our hearts at this time. May the Holy One restore them to fullness of health, of body, of mind, of spirit, blessing them, blessing those dedicated to their care. May they journey swiftly towards healing and recovery. Mishaberach imotenu mekor haveracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Refuah shlema. We rise to Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leoter breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo samachalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hanonam, v'anachnu kormi, umishachavim ubokim, Livnei melech, malchei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kagatuv b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch leolam v'aved, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'oretz, bayom ha'u, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemahu echad. May be seated. We recognize this week the yard sites of Herman Dinman, B. Ferraro's father, Hyman Kaplan, Myra, your uncle, Max Pleasant, Neil Pleasant's father, Sasha Bienvillner, George's grandmother, and Helen Schwartz, Adrienne Bienvillner's grandmother, Phil Miller, Myra, your uncle, Frank Gold, Julie Krell's grandfather, Rita Frank, Cheryl Hammerman's mom, Stephen Rubin, David Rubin's brother, Beverly Israel, Helen Kravitz's mother, David Serkis, Jessica Sharkey's grandfather, Sam Zinman, Ted's father and Mark's grandfather, Samuel Feldschreiber, Martin Finkelstein's father-in-law, Sylvia Altman, Patty Becker's mom, Betty Blum, Andrea Case's mother, Doris Krasnow, Gail Nachamovitz's mother and Marlene and Lisa's grandmother, Lori Stein, Mark Schwartz's grandmother, Nathan Jalowick, Phil Jalowick's grandfather, and Jen Kurochi and Joshua Jalowick and Jeremy Jalowick's great-grandfather, Philip Lanton, Lois Shiner's father, Tom Gosnell, Lori Gosnell's husband, Esther Gross, Mark Gross's mother, Libby Kaner, Debbie Goldich, and Ellen Bresnick's mother, Paul Winsberg, Ken Winsberg's dad, Shirley Ross, Mitch Ross's grandmother, Cantor Ernest Gottesman, Joel Gottesman's dad, and Leon Phillips, Sherry Konevsky's father. I also should mention that today on the English calendar is 4 years to the day since Rabbi Micah Kaplan left this world, and that we hold him in our hearts as we remember him now, though of course his yahrzeit on the Jewish calendar was a couple weeks ago. I invite mourners and those observing yahrzeit to rise and join with me in the words of Kaddish on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alama tivara kerutei, ve'amalich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zaman kariv v'igmeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lomei omaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitawar, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudshah, barichu, le'elah min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alama, ve'imeru, amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imeru, amen. Oseh shalom b'meromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshevei Tevel, ve'imeru, amen. It's my pleasure now to invite Rob Young, incoming president of our congregation, to share this evening's announcements. It's like almost a permanent thing.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi Green, for leading us in Kabbalat Shabbat services. Thank you, Pam Carson, for your technical assistance. We appreciate it. A reminder that the synagogue office will be closed on June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. Registration is now open for the Raz Goodell Religious School, and remind everybody that we now include a pre-K in the fall, which is very exciting. Hooked on Books will be getting together June 23rd. That's coming up at 2 o'clock. Contact Jan Shear for more information. And the Midbar Youth Turnaround trip to Disneyland is scheduled for August 31st to September 2nd. You can RSVP online. You can find information on all kinds of upcoming events. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Rob. We turn now to Kiddush, page 55. Savri, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yava ratzon inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom tefillah l'mikrayei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidasha, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Oh my goodness.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat 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 shalom. Adonai Oz Lamoiten. Adonai V'rach Damo Shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thanks for being with us. And Charlie, Kim Shaheen, and so many others, thank you for being online with us. Shabbat shalom.
Did a good job. Thank
Rob,
you.
Rob.
Oh, I'm